Hello, everybody, and welcome to our 18th episode of
Maughter Podcast. That was a good hello. I like that one.
But hello.
No, that's so dumb.
My name is Claudia, and I'm mother. This is Polly beside me, and she is daughter.
Beside you? Yeah, of course I'm beside you. It could be in the other room.
This is Polly. So we actually did a podcast last week, so we do apologize for not uploading it because we did a video podcast. So Polly's dad had given us a trunk, and in his trunk was a box of memories, and he's like, hey, just cleaning up shop a bit, and he's like, I found some stuff that is yours and like from our previous relationship, just like little knicky knacks and stuff for Polly, like when she's littler. He's like, you guys can go through them, and he's like, make it a mystery podcast. So we're like, yeah, we'll totally do that. So we set up this trunk, we open it up, and we got a bunch of super cool memories that we haven't seen for a very long time, and a lot of pictures of Polly in this mysteriously cute blue dress, and like a ton of pictures of her in this dress.
There was a poster.
And the weird thing is, I don't even remember the poster. Like, why would I get a poster of you?
Like, it was literally rolled up. Like, a poster picture of me.
It was weird. So we did the podcast, and it was a good podcast, and then we looked at it because it was a video, and we're like,
disgusted.
No. We looked so gross. I'm like, we're not uploading this. Polly's like, yeah, next week. So we apologize, and no, we will not be posting that podcast ever.
That was so bad.
Right?
We're never filming ourselves.
Yeah.
Unless we're sitting at a table.
Exactly. So yeah, we're recording today. Before I forget, we're gonna do we have a mystery sound that we're gonna give you guys to find out again at the end of the podcast.
Did we do one last time?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, no, because the last one was a wipe, pulling out of the wipe container.
Okay.
Yeah. Today we are covering Paul and Hall. What is it?
Paul and Hall.
Paul and Hall.
Paul Bernardo and Carla Homolka.
Yeah. So Polly's going to talk a little bit about them. And she did mention that they were Canadian.
Yeah, they're from Ontario, Scarborough, Ontario. And I sounded really Canadian when I said that.
Scarborough, Ontario.
Toronto.
Toronto.
And I like, a lot of people have heard of them, but I don't think a lot of people know that they're Canadian, and that Carla is released and
she's
going under a different name.
Yeah.
She actually got in trouble a couple of years ago because she wasn't allowed around kids. Because half the stuff is pedophilia.
Yeah.
And she wasn't allowed around kids, and they found out she was working at a daycare.
Huge red flag.
Yeah.
How do they not know who she is? Like, did she do facial reconstruction?
No, there was pictures of her. She looked pretty much the same, just old, right?
How do they not clue in?
She goes by a different name, so they just probably... Well, not everybody knows exactly what she looks like.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? And she... Like, when you're old, you might age badly, right?
Yeah, that's true. There's to hoping we age graciously beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start off with them, and oh, sorry, I was talking to Polly about a Criminal Minds episode that I was thinking it was referred to this couple, because I was like, oh my god, it's got to be them, so I googled it, and it's actually not. It was actually regarding
Fred and Rosemary West.
Yeah, so Polly's gonna talk to me about them, or maybe we'll do a podcast about them. I don't know. Polly said they were pretty intense.
Yeah, serial killer couple.
Exhibit B. Just kidding.
Yeah, pretty.
All right, so. Sorry, I'm a little bit stuffied. I'm at Polly's house, so she's got cats, and we all know that I'm definitely allergic to cats, and she is slowly trying to kill her mother. So thanks, kiddo. All right, let's start off with
Paul.
These two.
We're starting with Paul.
Okay.
Background on him. By the way, I'm getting all this information from the Criminal Minds wiki.
Is it Criminal Minds?
Yeah,
like the actual TV show?
The actual TV show fandom.
Oh,
wiki.
Like, is it legit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Bernardo was born in 1964 in Scarborough, a district of Ontario, Canada, as the legal youngest of Kenneth and Marilyn Bernardo's 3 children. His parents' marriage was an unhappy one that came as a result of Kenneth having the formation demanded by Bernardo's maternal grandfather.
Okay, can you say that again? Like, kind of confused. What?
His upbringing was mostly because, like, from his grandfather.
Oh, his grandfather. So, question for you. Sorry to interrupt you. Are there any serial killers that grew up in a pleasant, happy household?
Yeah.
Okay, just wondering. Because all these people are, like, a little bit wacko tobacco.
Yeah. It's all psychology, right? It's how they were raised that forms who they are as a person.
Okay.
Some people are just born bad, though.
Is that real?
Yes. Actually, sidetrack. I read a Reddit post one time.
Yeah.
About this woman who was like, or this father who, he's like, I hate my kid.
Oh.
And he's like, I don't know what to do, but basically his kid grew up and he was just terrible. Like, this kid was, anything bad a kid could do, this kid was doing.
Yeah.
And he could not control them. Doctors didn't know what was wrong with him. He was medicated to the max, and it still wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
And he turned, like, 16. He was a teenager, and he was huge, strong. And he would, like, beat them up, like his parents, and he had a younger sister. And he had a weapon one time, and they all hid in the basement. And they could hear him upstairs just ransacking the entire house.
Oh my gosh.
And they couldn't come up until he was gone.
Wow.
And he's like, I don't know if I should go upstairs and kill my son. Like, I don't know what to do to protect my family.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how long we're going to have to stay down here.
So what happened?
Eventually he left the house. He didn't talk to him until he was gone until he was like 30.
So what happened between
Came
that time
back. He doesn't know, and he said he doesn't care.
And he came back
Because he was
what?
gone. He came back. He tried to talk to his dad, and his dad was like, "No, I want nothing to do."
Was
with
he
you."
like a normal kid after that? Like a normal adult?
I don't know.
Was he just crazy?
Nobody knows. Because he
So bizarre.
just turned him away.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. Let's go back. Sorry, people.
But, like, that's a kid that
Was born bad?
was born bad. Yeah. I mean, what could trigger a kid when they're born except a head injury?
Maybe. Yeah.
To have, you know.
A little bit cuckoo.
Yeah. And head injuries do that. A lot of serial killers have bad head injuries.
Really?
Yeah. It can completely change your personality.
Really? That's crazy.
Okay.
So he was raised by his grandfather?
Yeah. So Marilyn's favorite suitor, so his mom's,
Yeah.
Kenneth, would later in life face charges for peeping and pedophilia, was abusive to the other members of the family, and molested Paul's sister.
Aww.
Marilyn was depressive and would leave her family unattended to visit other relatives during the weekend and eventually retreated into the basement. Young Paul seemed oblivious to his broken home and was described as a happy child. But he also gained a compulsion to making fires during his time in the Boy Scouts when he was 10 years old. In 1981, Fees was born.
Woo woo!
16-year-old Bernardo suffered two major setbacks. First, he was told after an argument between his parents that Kenneth Bernardo wasn't his biological father,
Oh.
but that he had been conceived as a result of a sexual encounter between Marilyn and her once favorite suitor. Repulsed, Bernardo began calling his mother a slut and whore,
Uh-oh.
and she reciprocated by calling him a bastard.
I was gonna say a bastard, yeah.
Later, Bernardo's first girlfriend, Nadine Brammer, abandoned him for one of his friends, having become tired of Bernardo's controlling behavior, and Bernardo retaliated by incinerating all things that Brammer had given to him.
Oh.
Who hasn't done that?
I don't think I burnt anything of my exes.
Yeah, because it was all jewelry.
My one ex that gave me jewelry. I think I just garbaged it, really.
I burnt pictures.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. I kept all my
It was
other
like
boxes.
a way of letting go, right?
Yeah, I guess.
But he's just an arsonist.
Yeah.
So, after graduating from Sir Wilfrid Laurier Collegiate Institute, Bernardo was employed by the American company Amway, whose polemic sales culture deeply influenced him. He bought books and tapes from famous motivational speakers and applied their lessons when he and his friends met young women in bars, seducing many successfully. By the time he began attending the University of Toronto at Scarborough, Bernardo had developed dark sexual fantasies, one of which was building a virgin farm where he would breed virgin girls to rape.
Ew. Gross. What would possess anybody to do that? That's probably
messed up. But just that one bad interaction with his mother, he sees women completely differently.
I guess, yeah. God, can you imagine calling your mother that? Imagine you called me that. I'd be like, oh my gosh.
Well, yeah.
But like, ugh.
I know.
Wow, okay.
He also enjoyed forceful anal sex and degrading his dates in public. Why not just be gay? Like, you don't like women, and you like anal, so...
Sorry. The way you said that was like so nonchalant.
I'm just saying. Over time, his relationships became shorter.
Sorry. I'm done laughing at the comment.
Okay. Over time, his relationships became shorter, and Bernardo would frequently date more than one woman at the same time. In all cases... Can I help you?
I was laughing because I'm thinking of your birthday party. But it's kind of an inside joke, so I shouldn't really laugh about it and discuss it. I'll tell you after.
You guys don't get it.
No.
Sorry.
Darla would.
Yeah. In all cases, he was abusive and threatened to kill his girlfriends if they spoke to other people about the treatment he subjected them to. In 1986, 2 women were granted restraining orders against Bernardo for making obscene phone calls to them. And he might have begun his raping spree already.
Wow. He's already a creeper.
Okay, Carla's background.
Carlos?
Carla.
Oh, that's it for Paul?
Yeah, okay. That's just his background.
Oh, right. Okay.
Homolka was born in 1970 in Port Credit, Ontario, to traveling salesman Carl. Both with K's, by the way. Carla and Carl are both with K's.
Okay.
Just to make it spicy.
Spicy.
Oh, maybe it's Carol.
Where?
Carl. Karel.
An alcoholic.
Czechoslovak immigrant.
And his wife, Dorothy.
Oh, okay.
So it's Carl. Yeah.
Carl. Anyway. And his Ontarian wife, Dorothy Seeger. Why can't anyone... Just be
it's not that
name.
I can't say Czechoslovakia. It's just the laptop was kind of slanted. So I feel like I can't even read now. I was laughing because I had to say something to Polly and I was laughing, so my eyes are watery. Anyways, not illiterate.
Okay, so she was born into a traveling salesman who was an alcoholic, and his wife, a geriatric clinic employee.
Okay.
She had 2 younger sisters, Lori and Tammy. I'm weirded out. I'm weirded out.
Polly has aunts, 3 of them: Yvonne, Lori, and Tammy. What?
Weird. Anyway, Carla was a bright child and good student that was doted on by her father, but he would also insult her and her mother and sisters during his drunk episodes. Normal alcoholic.
Yeah.
And took refuge in the basement when he got into arguments with them. So they both had a parent that lived in the basement.
Yeah, no doubt, eh?
When the Homolka's marriage faltered and he took on a mistress. Oh. Yeah. However...
Okay, question for you. Again, sorry to interrupt. If a mistress is a woman to a female, what is a female to a male? A mister? Like, what do you call that? Like, let's say you have a man...
Suitor.
Oh, is that what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I think mister sounds better, but okay.
This is my mister.
Say mister.
So
Paul's never gonna get through this.
He took on a mistress. However, his wife's response was to propose a threesome and keep on as normal.
Wow. Okay. And what year was this?
1970.
Were threesomes popular in the 70s? Oh, I guess, yeah.
Swingers were.
Yeah, that's true.
It's the 70s. Everybody was chilling.
That's crazy. Can you imagine? Like, our life isn't working. We need a threesome. That'll make everything better.
Well, you never know. Might as well try.
As Reese's ears pop out. Are you kidding? All right, go ahead.
From a young age, Carla was described as stubborn and domineering, being unable to compromise with other children and always willing to speak her mind to adults. She had a depressive episode after she began to attend Sir Winston Churchill Secondary School, during which she was dressed in an non-conforming matter, cut herself, and claimed false suicide attempts
Oh, wow.
as a way to seek attention. She later developed sadistic and masochistic fantasies. Homolka got a part-time job at a pet store while she was in high school, and after graduating in 1988, she was hired by Thorold Veterinary Clinic as a full-time veterinary tech.
Oh, wow. Quite educated.
At least she liked animals.
Yeah, right.
So, crimes, capture, and incarcerations.
Does it say how they met? I'm going to assume it does, right?
I'm going to assume it does.
Yeah.
In 1987, Bernardo graduated from college and got a job as a junior accountant in Price Waterhouse.
So they're both educated.
Yeah.
Wow.
They both came from, like, decent, schooling, I guess.
Yeah.
His dating slowed down after one of his last girlfriends, Jennifer Thompson, threatened to go to the police. In May of that year, Bernardo raped 2 women and attempted another rape in July. In October, Bernardo and Homolka met in a hotel's restaurant. He was 23 and she was 17.
Oh. She was young.
That's not too much of an age gap, though.
7 years.
7 years? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
She's 17, he said.
60.
She was 17, he was 23. 78, 78. Oh, yeah, I guess. Sorry.
I don't know. I can still see a 17-year-old and a 23-year-old having things in common.
I guess. I don't know. She's a young vet. She's a vet at that point, a vet tech at 17?
In 1987, she graduated in 1988.
Oh, okay.
So she graduated at 18.
Oh, okay. Still, I feel like that's really young, eh?
I don't know.
Okay, sorry. There's a lot of stories happening here today.
Yeah. Homolka had come to Scarborough to attend a pet store conference. They were instantly attracted to each other and had sex that same night with their friends present.
Like watching them?
I guess.
Oh, okay.
Or I guess they were just there. From then on, Bernardo would drive to see Homolka twice a week and slowly came to control her whole life, deciding how she would dress, style, eat, and believe.
Wow.
He often called her fat and ugly.
Aw, she wasn't even fat.
She was really pretty.
Yeah, she was pretty, eh?
Yeah, they're called the Barbie and Ken killers because they're very
Barbie Ken look alike.
Very Barbie and Ken, yeah. Unlike his previous girlfriends, Homolka easily submitted to and encouraged his sexual behavior, writing his indications in... What? Huh? Writing his indications on a self-improvement list. Though it didn't end their relationship through... Though it didn't end their relationship, the reveal that Homolka wasn't a virgin when they first met upset Bernardo greatly. Well, she's pretty. Of course she's not a virgin.
Yeah.
And she's 17. Bernardo resumed the rapes in December. By March 1988, police had set a task force to apprehend the so-called Scarborough rapist.
So he was raping when he was dating her?
Yeah.
Oh, gross.
That has nothing to do with their relationship, though.
How do you figure? They're in a relationship, and he's...
Yeah, but people like Ted Bundy and Paul Bernardo compartmentalize. So, Ted Bundy had a whole family. He had a girlfriend, and his girlfriend had a kid. When he came home...
It was all daddy mode kind of thing?
Yeah, he was the perfect father figure, the perfect boyfriend.
That's weird.
But when he was in rape and kill mode...
He's all cray-cray.
Yeah.
Weird.
So they can completely detach. It's like they have 2 lives.
Isn't it like two personalities? Like double personality kind of thing?
No. It's just compartmentalizing.
Weird.
They can just turn off a part of their brain and focus on one thing and not worry about the other. And it's crazy. I would be panicking.
Right?
Okay, so the police had set a task force, but the investigation went nowhere despite the amount of physical evidence and the existence of a composite sketch that wasn't shown to the public. Yeah, it went nowhere because we're not going to show the public the
the
sketch. Homolka was aware of what Bernardo was doing in this time period, and there were allegations from one victim that Homolka was present when she was attacked, recording it on camera. But these allegations were ignored by the police. Finally, in May 1990, the police decided to show the composite sketch to the public, launching a massive number of tips. At the time, Bernardo had quit his job and got his money by smuggling cigarettes across the U.S.-Canadian border. Friends and previous girlfriends of Bernardo saw the released sketch and tried to contact the police, but the officers were overwhelmed by other tips and were unable to follow up with them. In November, 2 detectives visited Bernardo and took blood, saliva, and hair samples from him, but they wouldn't be tested for another 2 years.
Why?
Probably because they had so many leads.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Okay, schoolgirl murders.
Schoolgirl murders?
Yes.
Okay.
As 1990 progressed, Bernardo became increasingly obsessed with Homolka's 15-year-old sister.
Ew.
Tammy. He spied on her and hatched a plan to rape her with Homolka's assistance.
Wasn't Paul Bernardo's dad a peeping Tom? Or the grandpa? Yeah.
The dad, yeah. And a pedophile.
Right.
To rape her with Homolka's assistance, who would also make sure that Tammy remained a virgin until that moment. A first attempt during a summer trip in July involved Homolka lacing her sister's meal with Valium stolen from her workplace. She worked at the clinic.
Right.
But Tammy woke up after a minute before Bernardo could rape her. The second attempt happened in December, following a Christmas dinner with the Homolka in the Homolka family home. Homolka described this as gifting her sister's virginity to Paul for Christmas.
Ew.
While the parents slept upstairs, the couple spiked Tammy's drink with sleeping pills, and when she was unconscious, they undressed her, and Bernardo proceeded to rape her while Homolka held a rag soaked with the anesthetic halothane, also stolen from her workplace, over Tammy's nose and mouth. Tammy began to vomit and stopped breathing after Homolka held her down to clear her throat. After failing to revive Tammy, the couple dressed her, moved her into a room, and cleaned up the evidence before they called 911.
So, they killed the sister.
Listen.
Oh, sorry.
Although Tammy had a visible chemical burn on her face, her death was ruled accidental.
So she died.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, you gotta be seriously whack to give your sister's virginity to your boyfriend.
And she was already drugged with sleeping pills. Why would you need an anesthetic?
That's a whole new level of whack.
A rag soaked in anesthetic. How is that not going to kill someone?
She was 15.
Yeah. Although, at the funeral, Bernardo was caught stroking Tammy's hair as she laid in the open casket.
Ew!
And a 1993 exhumation revealed that the couple had also placed a photo of themselves in the casket. Bernardo and Homolka then moved to Port Dalhousie, where they filmed themselves while role-playing sexual encounters between Bernardo and Tammy.
So she pretended to be her sister?
Pretended to be her sister.
That's disgusting.
Homolka played the part of her sister and wore her clothes to reinforce the fantasy.
Ew! Why is she so messed up?
That's whack.
Gross.
She must have been so brainwashed.
Right?
Anyway.
Gross.
On June 7th, 1991, Homolka invited a teenager that she had befriended at work, called Jane Doe during the trial, to their new home. After she passed out from having a drink laced with halcyon, Homolka told Bernardo that she had a surprise wedding gift for him, and the two filmed themselves as they raped her. The victim woke up the next day with nausea but left without realizing that she had been raped.
Oh.
On June 15th, Bernardo took a detour to Burlington to steal license plates to use in the smuggling business when he met 14-year-old Leslie Mahaffey, who had been locked outside her home in punishment for missing her curfew.
Ugh.
I wouldn't lock my kid outside the house.
Yeah. I think, grounding would be more sufficient.
Maybe lock their window.
Yeah, not them outside.
After Mahaffey was offered and accepted a cigarette, Bernardo led her to his car, where he pulled a knife on her, blindfolded her, and drove her to Port Dalhousie, telling Homolka that they had a playmate. Carla's initial response was to go back to sleep, instead of checking on Leslie. The two filmed themselves as they raped and tortured their new victim, and after Mahaffey said her blindfold slipped, they murdered her.
Because they saw her, or she saw them.
They kept the body in the basement while they dined with the Homolka family upstairs, and later dismembered her, encasing her remains in 8 concrete blocks, and threw the blocks into Lake Gibson. They were found on June 29th, the same day that Bernardo and Homolka were married. In August, Jane, the girl, was invited over again, mirroring what had happened when Tammy died. Jane also stopped breathing while she was raped, but she was revived successfully. Homolka, who had called 911, phoned back to say that the crisis had been solved, and the ambulance en route was recalled without further inquiry.
Wow.
Hey, my friend's not breathing. Never mind, she's good.
They wouldn't do that nowadays. I feel like now they'd still follow up.
They would still follow up.
Yeah.
Especially if they're already en route.
That's crazy. How crappy as a paramedic would you feel for not following up on that call?
Right.
Like, wow.
But she didn't die.
But you still follow up on the patient. Like, they could still have side effects. Like, you don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
On April 16th, 1992, Bernardo and Homolka abducted 15-year-old Kristen French as she exited the Holy Cross Catholic Secondary School, leaving a number of witnesses. They raped and tortured her for 3 days before supposedly strangling her with the same cord they used to kill Mahaffey.
Wow.
Though Bernardo, to this day, claims Carla murdered Kristen with a rubber mallet she was equipped with to guard their victim while she was getting food. During her captivity, French was never blindfolded and was forced to ingest large amounts of alcohol, watch the recordings of Mahaffey's rape, and act in a submissive manner to Bernardo, though she became confrontational by the end, calling him a bastard, just like his mother had.
Oh, bad choice
told him,
words.
I don't know how your wife can stand being around you. She was severely beaten before her death. Once again, the couple left the body in their home while they dined with the Homolkas. They later washed it and cut her hair before they threw her remains into a ditch.
Wait, did they live with the parents? Or they just had the family over?
I assume they had the family over because it said they bought a house.
Oh, okay.
They threw the remains into a ditch in Burlington, close to the cemetery where Mahaffey was buried. Bernardo was interviewed by 2 police officers a month after French's murder, but they considered him an unlikely suspect, even after he admitted to being interviewed previously in connection to the Scarborough rapes. Soon after, Bernardo and Homolka solicited to change their legal names to Teal, the surname of a serial killer in the 1988 film Criminal Law.
Ew.
Arrests and incarcerations. On December 27th, Bernardo savagely beat Homolka with a flashlight, leaving her with bruises on her limbs, a broken rib, and 2 black eyes. Here's a picture.
Did they say, wow? Did they say why he hit her? Or why he beat her?
I don't know. Nonetheless, she returned to work on January 4th and tried to pass her injuries as a result of a traffic accident. Her coworkers did not believe her and alerted her parents, who insisted on taking her to the hospital. Once there, Homolka claimed to be a battered spouse and filed charges against Bernardo,
Ooh.
who was briefly arrested. By sheer coincidence, the samples that Bernardo had given 2 years earlier were tested right around this time, positively identifying him as the Scarborough rapist.
Double whammy.
Homolka moved to Brampton with her aunt and uncle and told them that Bernardo was both the Scarborough rapist and the killer of Mahaffey and French. In February, she sought full immunity from prosecution in exchange for her cooperation, but this was denied. Instead, Homolka was given a week to accept a 12-year prison term for manslaughter or face charges for 3 murders. One of them, Tammy Homolka's, whose case had just been reopened.
Oh, shoot.
As well as other crimes. Homolka took the deal and testified against Bernardo at his
Wouldn't
trial.
you, though, honestly?
Yeah.
Right?
Testified against him at his trial, which took place in 1995. On September 1st, Bernardo was sentenced to life in prison without parole for at least 25 years. He is kept segregated from other inmates because of threats made to him, And in one occasion in 1999, a group of 5 prisoners tried to storm the segregated area and had to be dispersed by riot police.
Holy.
Because of his official status as a dangerous offender, it is considered unlikely that he'll ever be granted parole.
Yeah.
Homolka's plea deal was severely criticized in Canadian society, especially after the tapes depicting the couple's rapes were shown at Bernardo's trial. Some prosecutors declared that, had they known what was in the tapes, they would have never proposed it. Bernardo's first lawyer...
So, sorry, they granted her...
They gave her the deal without knowing what was on the tapes.
Oh.
They didn't know her full
participation?
Involvement. Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Some prosecutors declared... Oh, I just said that. Bernardo's first lawyer purposefully hid most of the tapes for 17 months and was later charged with obstruction of justice.
Oh, yeah.
But he was acquitted. Homolka was released from prison in 2005, having been denied the possibility of parole. She moved to the French Caribbean island of Guadeloupe in an attempt to avoid media scrutiny in 2007, where she married Thierry Bordelais, the brother of her lawyer, and had 3 children.
Like, for real?
Yeah. Her family later returned to Canada and settled in Montreal.
Wait, did the guy not know that she was like a serial rapist? Or a killer? Oh, he would have known.
No, it was
the brother's
the
lawyer. That's messed up, no?
Yeah. I didn't know that.
And she had kids?
3.
Gross. I just say gross in the sense of, like, your boyfriend and you raped teenagers and your 15-year-old sister. Like...
He killed 3 people.
Ugh. Gross. Can you imagine being her kid?
No.
Like...
She'll hide that forever.
But
how long until your kids...
As if your kids don't know that you're... Like,
they have a different name.
They'll eventually have to figure that out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, how long until they figure it out?
God. Okay, sorry.
So this goes over their MO as well.
Okay.
Bernardo targeted petite white women between 14 and 22 years of age.
Ha! I'd be safe. Sorry. I'm just saying I'm not petite by any means.
5'3" to 5'11".
Uh-oh.
And 95 to 135 pounds.
Good.
That he saw walking alone at night in the vicinity of his home at the time.
Wait, can we edit that, please? So people know I'm a little bit bigger.
I'm a lot bigger. It's okay.
Edited.
He would follow, stalk, and sometimes videotape them for a while before threatening them with a knife, raping them anally, and fleeing on foot. Tammy Homolka and Jane Doe were anesthetized by Homolka using chemicals stolen from her workplace and raped by Bernardo in a controlled environment, while Homolka recorded it on video with no intention to kill them. Both stopped breathing during the ordeal, and the couple tried to revive them, but were unsuccessful in Tammy's case.
Do you think that they have that on recording, like their actual deaths, kind of thing?
Probably.
Because
if they were recording the whole thing, I assume.
Yeah.
But who knows? Jane was also raped by Homolka under Bernardo's instructions. I remember, because I read a book on them.
Yeah.
And I remember him telling her to do that, and obviously she can't rape a woman.
Yeah.
But he made her do it with a wine bottle. Like, the big end.
Ah.
Yeah.
Gross. Those poor kids.
Leslie Mahaffey and Kristen French finally were abducted by Bernardo at knife point during the day and using Homolka as a lure in the second case, and videotaped as they were forced to drink alcohol, raped, and psychologically tortured by both before they were strangled with the same electric cord. In both cases, the bodies were kept in the basement while the couple dined with the family and abandoned outdoors later.
It blows my mind. Like, do your family never go downstairs in the basement? Like, my kids, well, I guess they're not kids there anymore, because kids will go downstairs and explore, right?
Yeah. On Criminal Minds, Season 2, The Perfect Storm, was based off.
Oh, we'll have to watch that
And
episode.
also Season 9, Mr. and Mrs. Anderson.
Okay, we'll have to watch this later on.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And it says, Bernardo and Homolka were mentioned by Reed as an example of two-person killing team.
So, now, that's everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, is Paul Bernardo still alive?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He's still in prison.
And Carla is out with 3 kids.
Living her best life. Yeah.
How can you look at her and want to have, like, sex with her knowing that she tortured... And worst off is, like, how would you want to have a child with this person who literally hurt kids?
Let alone 3.
Right? Like, are you not concerned that someone might do this to your kids as an example of what you did to these kids?
Yeah, right.
Like, I don't know. Those are the things that play in my mind. Like, I was like, I feel like that's a whole new level of whack.
And knowing everything that she did, probably seeing the tapes.
Because the husband, like, it's a lawyer's brother, so he knows everything.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Like, how could you look at your brother and be like, dude, why did you want to hook up with a psychopath? That I'm protecting, of course, but still.
But he's only protecting her because it's his job.
But still.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God, that's a new level of crazy. That's a crazy one.
Yeah. They were both crazy. And she was just infected by his crazy to make her even more crazy.
Do you think she's normal now? Or do you think
I don't
that
think she'll ever be normal.
crazy is hidden?
She's probably medicated. She probably sees someone.
I'd hope so. It's probably a stipulation of release.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't just get over the fact that she has kids. Like, it just blows my mind. Like, I'm beyond crazy. Like, can you imagine being, like, a teenager and knowing your mom is, like, Carla Homolka? I mean, I'm, like, my mom was a psychopath who raped kids. I say kids because they're, like...
killed her own sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, did she talk to her family still, do you think? Because she had another sister, right?
Yeah. And her parents? I don't know. I don't think I would talk to my kid if they were killing people and leaving them in the basement and then having me over for dinner.
Right? Can you imagine? Like, even worse, knowing that I was having dinner at your house and, like, there's, like, dead body downstairs.
Yeah.
And not only once, but, like, 2 or 3 times.
Nightmares.
Right? I just think kicking yourself in the head and saying, why did I go to the basement that one time?
How could I not know?
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just so creepy. I don't know. That's a little messed up. That was a good episode. I really enjoyed that one. Well, that's a little crazy for me to say I enjoyed it. So it's kind of like, yeah, okay. All right. I was still creeped out. So first off, we're going to say our shout outs to
Carla, the good one.
The good one?
Carla with a C.
Carla with a C? Oh, yeah, right, Carla. I'm like, what do you mean, Carla, the good one? I'm talking about saying Carla? Just kidding, Carla.
And Ion.
Shout out. Okay, listen, you guys. This is our mystery sound. I'm going to move this bag of chips that we have here. So, that is not the mystery sound.
Not chips.
Yeah, no, it's not that. Okay, ready? Define or guess this sound. Define this sound. Guess this sound. Ready? Okay, I'm going to do it one more time. Okay, here it is. What is that sound?
Define it. Crinkly.
That was my really bad drum roll. I told you, I'm not allowed to play with my thing anymore. Actually, I have to find it. I'm totally going to find it and play with it again.
You're never going to find it in your house.
Yeah, probably not. My house is a wee bit kidified.
I think it'll be like 6.
Yeah.
Like, look what I found.
I'll be like, oh my God, you found it, baby girl. Thank you.
We'll be on episode like 400.
450 million. No, that's not. That's a lot. Never mind. I'm also very bad at math. All right, you guys. We hope you guys have yourself a wonderful weekend. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to
like, subscribe, comment, share.
All of them things. All of them. Wait, all of them. All the damn things. I meant to say all them things. That came out really bad. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you guys enjoyed. And what do we want to talk about next week? That came out really fast.
What are we going to talk about next week?
I feel like we have to like slow motion that. What are we going to talk about next week?
There's one guy that I want to talk about.
We're not a true crime podcast, but no one is giving us ideas. So we're just kind of going with the flow now.
We're true criming it.
Yeah, we're just winging it now, guys, because no one listens to us except for Carla and Ian. But
we ran out of ideas, so this is what we're doing.
Yeah, you guys aren't helping us, so we gotta do our own thing now. So thanks, guys. Thanks. Sorry, what were we saying?
There's one guy I want to talk about for sure.
Okay.
But his story isn't really that long.
Okay.
Because his background and stuff don't really matter. It was like a one-time incident, but I think...
Is he really considered a serial killer if he killed one person?
No, I didn't say he was a serial killer.
Oh, we're talking about some rando? Can I talk about, like, my neighbor or something?
Oh, well, there's two people I can talk about.
Oh, why did they be your neighbors? Because I just said neighbors and I'm creeped out now?
One's Luca Magnotta.
Okay.
And...
I don't know who that is, but okay.
Yeah, I know. And the other one is the story about the Greyhound.
Like the local Greyhound?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know that story, right?
Yeah.
How doesn't people not know about that story? That was crazy.
It was. Okay, that we'll talk about for sure next week. We should be recording next week. I have Paul's gonna be at my house next week. So we might be uploading it a day later because you're coming over on Friday, I believe. Because we have an order. I do cakes as a side business. So we have a cake order.
Shout out Claudia Oven Delights.
Claudia's Oven Delights. Check me out on Facebook and Instagram. Woo woo. Yeah, I have a cake order this weekend. So Polly is my assistant. I apologize. I should say this on this social media platform. Thank you, Polly, for the help the cake I made last time.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I didn't give her a thank you, so she's like hounding me about it. So my apologies.
Well, usually she's like, thanks, Polly, for helping me.
I'm going to edit it on my Facebook just to make it. I'm like, sorry, I forgot to thank Polly.
Yeah,
so she'll be here on Friday, Saturday, or my house Friday and Saturday, I think. So we'll hopefully load it by Friday or even have it ready for Saturday kind of thing.
Probably later Friday.
Yeah. We'll let you guys know. We'll keep you posted. But thanks again for listening, you guys. We hope you guys have a good weekend. And
okay, bye.
Friday. I forgot my Friday. So, yeah, that's why I'm saying it. Okay. Yeah, that's it. So thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye.